That's not it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Troy Draws Things. I'm Troy Roberts. Just finished up the month of October, which is, if you watched my previous video, Inktober. So that challenge is all done with. Spoiler alert, I did not complete the challenge. I didn't do all 31 days, but I did a fair amount, and I thought I wanted to show you what I did. So I'm going to show you today everything that I did for Inktober. Now, I did not use the official Inktober prompt list. I used a different list. I used Badass-tober prompt list, which I'll show up here. And like I said, I did not complete every day, but I got a fair amount done. So let's take a look and see what I did. Now, I had not planned to do Inktober at all originally, but on the 1st of October, I decided I want to do it. I want to see how much I can get done. So I didn't have a new sketchbook for it, which I always like to start a new book specifically for Inktober. So I ended up using last year's book. That's not it. So I used last year's book for that. And the prompt for day one was skull. So I grabbed a reference off of Google, looked at it, and this was my skull drawing. After that, I was able, that same day actually, after I did that drawing, I ran to Michael's and bought a new sketchbook. So from there on, everything's going to be in the same book. So day two, we have creepy fruit. This is something that really takes me out of my style and was definitely a challenge, which is what Inktober's great for. With a prompt list, inevitably you're going to find something that's completely not what you would normally work on, and it pushes your boundaries to do something a little different. Mostly adding eyes to things that shouldn't have eyes. Day two was ghost. Something kind of like a Victorian ghost kind of idea. Somebody dressed for a ball or a gala, kind of had his legs fade off with some dry ink, have some spectral trails going off with that same dry ink. Day three was bats. I was a little bit short for time on day three. The idea for this was just to do something quick, even though it was something that I did fairly quickly, and it was a more simple drawing. I think it came out well. I kind of like it. Day four was magic. First thing that came to mind, I play D&D, so I was thinking like a wizard or sorcerer or something along those lines from like a D&D character. So that's the idea of her outfit for magic kind of stuff. Kirby Crackle comes to mind. Almost Doctor Strange kind of motion. Next day was nachos. I didn't want to do a still life of nachos kind of thing, just a bowl of nachos. So I came up with the idea of having a nacho guy eating a bowl of fingers. Another thing that's kind of outside of my style, what I would normally draw. Alright, so this brings us to day 7's prompt, liquor bottle. So I grabbed a bottle of Town Branch bourbon. Did a still life from that reference. Rolling right along with day 8 was jack-o'-lantern. Didn't just want to do the plain old jack-o'-lantern. That seemed too simple, and I had some time and was feeling creative that day. So I made a jack-o'-lantern headed guy. Next one on day 9 was pets in costume. I took a photo of my dog named Jasper. We call him Ham. Decided to put him in like a Stegosaurus costume. Showed it to my partner, and now she is absolutely convinced that we need to make this costume for him. Now the next day was Zombie Mermaid. And this is one that I did it on the day for the prompt. I was trying to get something dynamic and interesting. Ended up being very unhappy with it. I didn't even bother inking it. I just finished the drawing and set it down and went on. The next day when I was ready to do another drawing, I still wasn't satisfied with that drawing, but it was something I was really interested in, so I decided to go back to that and redraw it from scratch. After seeing some other people post on it and getting some more inspiration, went back and redid that and ended up with this drawing of a zombie mermaid, which I am 1,000 times happier with. This is one of my favorite drawings from the whole month. This is one that I think I will probably use this design, make a print, maybe even do like a t-shirt design. Because on day 11, I decided to redo the zombie mermaid. I did not do the prompt for clown, which I'm okay with. I didn't feel inspired by that. I don't like clowns. I didn't feel interested in that at all. So I skipped over, ended up skipping 2 days, and went to Raven. This was kind of another low energy day. Didn't produce some of my best work, but I did it. Did this guy just using Pigma brush markers. Next up, and the next 3 really, are going to be from my previous video where I do 3 drawings in one day to catch up on Inktober. So this is the first one, spider web. Covered the page in black ink, and then I did the webs with a white Posca marker. From there, the next prompt was witchy things. Another still life, which I'm not the biggest fan of doing. I didn't want to do a witch because I was a little bit afraid that it would be too similar to the magic drawing that I did earlier in the month. So I decided to just do object, witchy things. And then the final prompt for those 3 was sad. Next drawing, and last one I actually inked, was tree. So I tried to do an ink version of a cypress tree, which is probably one of my favorite trees. Living in Florida, they're all around. I could have used some different types of brushes, like maybe a fan brush, and gotten a little bit better texture with the trees and the leaves. And the last drawing I worked on before things just went off the rail and I wasn't able to get back on it was Undead. This was day 20, but I skipped a couple days in between. But this was the last drawing I did. Again, trying to do something a little more dynamic. I think it's dynamic, but the overall drawing I'm not super happy with. That is my Inktober for 2021. Overall, fairly happy with what I accomplished. Disappointed I wasn't able to finish it out, but I'm not going to beat myself up about that. I did, for a number of years, was able to successfully complete Inktobers year after year, but my life's a lot more complicated, a lot busier now. Pretty much started with 2018. I got married in October, so pretty much every year after that, things get busy with my anniversary. So I just don't always, at the end of the month especially, don't have the time or energy to finish up and finish the month strong. A lot of times after I've missed 4 or 5 days, I don't have the motivation to pick back up and try to finish. If you participated in Inktober or did any kind of art challenge over the last month or so, let me know in the comments. Share that with me. I'd love to see it. Let me know what you think of what I did for Inktober this year. And I will catch you in the next one. Oh yeah, and the like, subscribe, and all that, of course. You know that. You've been here before.